welcome to our deep dive. So have you ever been completely overwhelmed by a problem where everything just feels connected, tangled, and basically unfixable?
Oh, absolutely. It's a universal feeling. And that's what we're digging into today. A text titled To Isolate an Issue.
It's this really short but powerful guide on analytical thinking. It's all about how to cut through the noise to see the real mechanics of a failure.
Right. And the core idea is that most of us aren't actually solving problems. We're just wrestling with what the source calls noise. Our mission here is to figure out how to stop doing that.
So the text frames this as the antidote to something it calls fusion, which is a great term for it.
It really is. The idea is that a problem feels impossible when we let it fuse with other
What
things.
kind of things?
Well, with our identity, with emotion, history, blame, fear, all of it, the mechanical issue gets bonded to all this baggage.
So for example, a project failing. That's just a mechanical issue, a process breakdown.
Exactly. But if that failure means I am incompetent or, this team always messes this up,
Ah, now you're not fixing a workflow. You're trying to manage an identity crisis.
and the cognitive load just skyrockets. So the source says you have to make this analytical pivot. You have to change the question you're asking.
Right, you stop asking who's to blame or why does this feel so
If
bad?
you strip all of that away and ask only one thing, what exactly is failing? It's about pure mechanics.
And there's a tool for this in the text, right? The plainness test.
Yeah, and it's a great little razor. The rule is simple. If you can't state the problem in simple, plain terms, you haven't isolated it yet.
So if you need 3 paragraphs of backstory to explain why production is stalled,
Then you haven't found the failure point. You're
Yeah.
still just describing the fusion.
okay, so once you pass that test, you then have to distinguish between symptoms and causes, which is, pretty standard systems thinking.
It is, but the text adds this really provocative layer about judgment. It basically says you have to remove moral judgment from your analysis.
That feels counterintuitive. I mean, if someone's negligence caused the failure, isn't judging that necessary to stop it from happening again?
Eventually, maybe. But the argument is that during the analysis, judgment just inflates the issue. It makes it bigger, heavier.
It obscures the mechanism.
Exactly. If you're angry at a person or a piece of software, you stop looking at how it's failing and just focus on the fact that it failed. To isolate it, you have to look at it neutrally.
It's like a mechanic working on an engine. Being angry at the piston doesn't help you fix it.
That's the perfect analogy. And to get there, you have to set boundaries. List what's in your control and what's out. Otherwise, the problem just keeps sprawling.
So we've stripped the emotion, defined the boundaries. Now the text moves on to tactics, and this is where it warns about assumptions.
The interrogation phase. This is where we cap ourselves filling in the blanks with assumptions that we treat as facts.
We assume a client is angry when they might just be busy.
Right. And the source says you have to ask what actual evidence supports this. If the evidence is just a feeling, you have to throw it out for now.
And the final piece of this is the variable rule, which I think is something we all know from a science class but never apply to, a crisis at work.
Change one variable at a time. The text is so firm on this. If everything's failing and you change the team, the software, and the deadline all at once,
You've learned absolutely nothing.
because you have no idea what worked or what didn't, you've completely obscured the feedback loop.
So really, this is all a game of subtraction. You're not adding brain power. You're just removing the noise so you can finally see the actual mechanics.
It turns a crisis into a puzzle. And a crisis feels impossible, but a puzzle. A puzzle is just waiting to be solved.
So let's leave you with a challenge from the plainness test. Think about the biggest stressor in your life right now. A stalled project, a bottleneck,
Anything.
and try to write down the problem in one simple sentence. No emotional words, no history, no blame. It's the mechanical failure. If you can't, then you probably haven't isolated the issue yet. You're still fighting the fusion. Thanks for listening.
Until next time.